Welcome to my Gesta Romanorum. Today we will be going over part 2 of the Gesta Romanorum, story number 5 de sectande fidelitate. Let's start off with a read-through. Statum puel patre ignorante ipsum a vinculis liberavit, et cum eo ad patriam suam fugit, cum vero ad patrum suum venisset, aed ei pater, o fili de tuo advento gaudeo, sed dic mihi, qualis est ita puella quam te conduxisti? Aed ille filia regis est, quam in uxorum habeo. Aed pater, so pena missiones hereditatis tue nolo ut eam in uxorum ducas. Aed ille, o pater, quid dicis? Plus ei teneor quam tibi. Quando captus eram in manus inimici et fortiter vinculatus, tibi pro mea redemptione scripsi, et noluisti me redemere. Ipse vero non tantum a carcere, sed a periculo mortis me liberavit, ed eo eam in uxorum ducere volo. Aed pater, fili probo tibi, quod non possis in eam confidere, et per consequens nullum modo in uxorum ducere. Patrum proprium decepit, quando ipso ignorante te a carcere liberavit. Pro qual liberatione pater eius multa perdidit, quae pro tua redemptione abuisset. Ergo videtur, quod tu non possis in eam confidere, et per consequens nullum modo in uxorum ducere. Item alio ratio est. Ista licet te liberavit, hoc fuit causa libidinis, ut posset te in virum habere, et ideo quia eius libido erat causa liberationis tuae non mihi videtur, cur uxor tua erit. Translation. Immediately, the maiden, with her father being unaware, that's an ablative absolute, freed him from chains, and with him fled to his fatherland. And when he had come to his father, the father said to him, O son, concerning your return, concerning your advent, I rejoice, but tell me, what sort is this girl whom you have brought with you? And he said, the daughter of a king whom I intend to marry. The father said, under penalty of losing your inheritance, I do not want that you marry her, or I do not want you to marry her. He said, O father, what are you saying? I am obligated more to her than to you. When I was captured into the hands of the enemy and greatly bound up, to you I wrote for my redemption, or my payback, and you did not want to buy me back. But she freed me not only from jail, but also from the danger of death. Therefore, I desire to marry her. The father said, O son, I will prove to you that you are not able to trust her, and consequently in no way to marry her. She deceived her own father when, with him being ignorant, that's the same ablative absolute there, she freed you from prison. For this liberation, her father lost many implied things or money, which he would have had for your redemption. Therefore, it seems that you are not able to trust in her, and consequently in no way to marry her. Likewise is the other reason. Although she freed you, this was because of passion, that she might have you as a husband, and therefore, because passion was the cause of your liberation, it does not seem to me that she should be your wife. Let's go back and pick up just a couple of things here. So we have in uxorum habeo. So that in uxorum is that same idiom for marriage, but habeo is in the present tense, indicating an intended imminent future action. So I am going to marry her, or I am having her unto a wife. But this just indicates his intention here, not that he's actually marrying her at this moment. Next we have nolo, taking two different instructions. We have nolo and then an ut clause, indicating the direct object. So the entire clause is the direct object. And then down here we have an accusative subject with an infinitive receiving the noluiste. We also have teneor, which is a little different in the medieval period than the classical period. In the classical period, it means to hold, to possess, something like this. In the medieval period, it picks up the connotation of being obligated or being bound. So I am bound more to her than to you. You also notice that there's a non tantum, and you would normally expect a sed etiam, maybe, but it is not here. You have to imply that. There's also the change between the T and the C when it's internal inside a word that shows up very frequently right before an I. So you would normally see that ratio. There's also the licet here. In the classical period, you would anticipate that the next word the verb would be subjunctive, since it's meaning although or granted that. However, it's in the indicative here, and that's the change that shows up in the medieval period. Licet can mean although and take an indicative verb. We also see the change from mihi to miki, reflecting a change in pronunciation. And finally, we have quod uxor tua erit. This is literally a future verb. Literally, it means that your wife, she will be. However, this clearly has a subjunctive sense to it and should be translated as such, that she should not be your wife. Join us next time as we pick up with the next sentence and keep going through Gesta Romanorum, story number 5. Until then, vale.